MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
The Michigan State volleyball team secured its biggest win of the season on its recent road trip out to the West Coast. The Spartans upset number 16 USC in a dramatic 5-set thriller. And as our Tyler Driesinga shares with us, it was a significantly special night for MSU libero Nalani Iosia.
For Nalani Iosia, Michigan State's road trip to USC at the end of October was a return to her roots. Iosia grew up in Long Beach, California, and comes from a large Polynesian family.
My Polynesian culture has kind of taught me to be really tough through those hard times, and the game of volleyball is such a mental, has a big mental capacity on you, so I think kind of growing up with that, just knowing that it's always going to be tough and you always have to push through no matter what the circumstances are, is kind of what my heritage really instilled in me.
Against the Trojans, 72 tickets were set aside for Iosia's family members.
It was so much fun. I've been looking forward to this trip since it got on our schedule, and kind of seeing, I was kind of nervous at first because I haven't played in front of my family since I was about like 6 or 7 years old. So kind of seeing them all be there at first was just so heartwarming and very emotional for me, and I didn't know how I was going to go out and perform, knowing that I had quite literally my whole village there watching me, and then I had family on the court with me too.
Her family on the court that night was USC standout Mia Tuaniga, Iosia's cousin.
And here's the cousins seeing each other. Oh, that is true cousin love.
Me and Mia have been playing against each other since we were 8 years old, so that was nothing new for us. I just think it was good for me to see how much we've grown as people, but as players as well.
The match was the most exciting and dramatic of the season for the Spartans. Down 24-22 in the third set, MSU was just 1 point away from being swept. Instead, the Spartans fought all the way back to pull off a stunning upset.
And it is over. Michigan State pulls off the upset against 16th ranked USC. The reverse sweep for the Spartans.
Where does that game and that moment, I guess, rank for you in terms of favorite memories here at Michigan State?
Oh, that probably has to be my top one. Just because both of my worlds kind of colliding, my family from Michigan meeting my hometown family, having them all there at once was just an amazing thing to happen, showing my teammates here where I came from, being able to just show out my culture and my heritage for them that one day meant the world to me, just because I think it made us closer as teammates and as people.
Iosia is in her third and final season at Michigan State. She was a high school All-American and started her college career at perennial powerhouse Texas. As a freshman, Iosia was second on the Longhorns in digs and played in all 29 matches, including the national championship match, which Texas lost to Kentucky that year. But by the end of her sophomore year, Iosia says she was losing her love for the sport. She entered the transfer portal and came to East Lansing.
What was the number one thing that sold you on Michigan State?
Well, it wasn't the weather, so I mean,
it's never the weather here.
Yeah. Kind of just like this place gives me like small town family feel. Like it's a big college campus and community, but it's also very small and more personal and intimate, and I think that's something that I really wanted. Coming from Austin was a big city, there was a lot of things going on. I think coming here kind of helped me focus on myself a little bit more and to make more connections with those around me.
And I've heard you talk in the past about how towards the end of your time in Texas, kind of were struggling with your love of volleyball and kind of felt it fading, whether it was the pressure or whatever else. Do you feel like you've rediscovered that love of it here?
Oh, heck yeah. I think about this all the time. Kind of after Texas, I was at a very just kind of confused time in my life because I've never really felt that love for volleyball go away in my 14 years plus playing that. So coming to terms with that was kind of hard for me, and I don't think I really knew that's what was happening until I realized I would just have a lot of anxiety when I would want to go play, even just for fun when I was home. I think coming here as the years go by, this place is giving me more than I ever could have imagined. They gave me a purpose to play the sport again, and this place is giving me another family that I never would have thought I would have found all the way from California in East Lansing, Michigan. So I think about it every single day that this place quite literally saved my chances of just playing volleyball itself.
Iosia came to Michigan State wondering what the future held for her and the sport she'd loved since she was a little girl. 3 years later, she's found a second family in East Lansing, created a lifelong memory with her family back home, and is ready to take charge of whatever life throws her way.
What are the biggest ways that you feel like you've grown as a person away from the volleyball court over your 3 years here in East Lansing?
I think this place has given me a lot of perspective just on different outlooks of life and kind of just the sports world. Knowing that everyone kind of approaches things differently and learning that and finding those tools as a leader has been huge for me. So kind of using that outside of volleyball is something that I've kind of taken pride in, kind of just taking charge on different scenarios and different parts of my life is probably the biggest thing.
Iosia has cemented herself as one of the best liberos in the Big Ten this season as she leads the conference in digs per set. And against Ohio State last Sunday, she had a career-high 34 digs, which was the third most in a single match in program history.